Marketplace Cannibalism. Why Platforms Can't Stay Neutral. Section 1. Introduction. Marketplaces are often sold to us as neutral arenas, places where participants meet, exchange value, and compete on equal footing. But across every major industry, from finance to retail to media and crypto, the same pattern repeats. The platform that creates the marketplace gradually stops acting as a referee and starts acting as a player. And once it becomes a player, it uses its built-in advantages, privileged information, control of distribution, and the ability to set the rules to dominate the very participants it was supposed to serve. This phenomenon is not random or malicious. It is structural. The incentives pull every marketplace in the same direction, and that direction leads to a predictable endgame: marketplace cannibalism. Section 2. The neutral marketplace myth. Historically, platforms framed themselves as mere facilitators. Banks claim to match savers with borrowers. Exchanges claim to match buyers and sellers. Supermarkets claim to give brands shelf space. App stores claim to provide neutral distribution. Streaming platforms claim to aggregate content. The selling point of every marketplace is the same. We do not take sides. We create the field, you play the game. But neutrality depends on a fragile assumption that the platform has no incentive to compete with its participants. That assumption collapses the moment the platform realizes two things. First, it sees everything: flows, preferences, behavior, demand. Second, it sets the rules: visibility, ranking, pricing, settlement. Once a platform notices that it can extract more value by acting, not observing, the myth of neutrality ends. Section 3. The incentive shift. Why platforms start to cannibalize. Every platform eventually confronts the same economic temptation. Why let others make money on the marketplace we control? The shift happens because 1. Control of distribution, shelf placement, search ranking, recommended for you sections, default settings. Distribution is power. Whoever controls discovery controls demand. 2. Control of the rules, fee structure, access requirements, listing policies, category visibility, data access. Platforms can tilt the game at any moment, invisibly. 3. Higher margins from participation. Intermediation is low margin. Participation is high margin. Why earn 1 to 3% on transactions when you can earn 30 to 80% selling your own product? 4. Information asymmetry. The platform knows what sells, when it sells, at what price, to whom, and in what trend direction. Participants are competing blind. The platform sees the entire chessboard. Neutrality dies the moment profit, data, and rule setting converge. Section 4. Case studies across sectors. A. Finance. Banks as predatory market makers. Banks once claimed to match savers and borrowers. In truth, they create credit instead of merely routing it. They trade against client flows. They became both referee and player. The marketplace was credit. The banks kept the ball. B. Crypto exchanges. The analogy evolves, but the pattern is identical. Centralized exchanges see all orders. They prioritize their own accounts. They conduct internal market making. They engage in order flow internalization. Decentralized exchanges show a similar pattern. MEV bots extract value from user transactions. Validators reorder blocks. The platform uses structural advantage to eat participants' lunch. Cannibalism becomes automated. C. Retail and supermarkets. Store brands versus national brands. Cheaper, strategically placed, often identical or near identical quality. Backed by superior shelf visibility. The supermarket invites brands in, then competes with them, then outcompetes them using privileged positioning. D. Big tech marketplaces, Amazon Basics, analyzing third-party seller data and undercutting them. Apple and Google promoting in-house apps above third-party developers. App stores rewriting ranking algorithms to favor native products. They own the shelves and the spotlight. E. Media and streaming platforms shift from hosting content to producing content. Netflix originals, Disney removing licensed content and replacing it with their own. Spotify testing AI-generated playlists and tracks that pay out a fraction of traditional royalties. One by one, participants get replaced by the platform's own supply. This content is brought to you by Bobby Gigs. Promote your brand here and reach a wide audience across platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Follow the links in the description to get started. Section 5. The Cannibal Curve, the life cycle of a platform. Stage 1. Build the marketplace. Attract participants. Offer neutrality. Stage 2, accumulate data. Behavioral, transactional, competitive intelligence. Stage 3, enter the market. Launch own brand equivalents. Stage 4, tilt the game. Change ranking, visibility, pricing, or rules. Stage 5, consolidate dominance. Participants become dependent. Alternatives fade. Every platform follows the same curve unless deliberately constrained. Section 6, ethical fault lines. Marketplace cannibalism sits on the border between fair competition. Anyone can make their own product. This is capitalism. And abuse of privileged position. You control the rules, the placement, the pricing, and the data. Key ethical questions. Is it fair to compete against those whose data you exploit? Can players trust a referee who also scores goals? Should platform dominance be checked by regulation or design? This is not a moral problem. It is a structural one. Section 7. Systemic consequences. 1. Innovation suppression. Why build a new product if the platform can copy you, undercut you, and bury your listing? 2. Market dependence. Participants cannot leave because the marketplace is the market. 3. Erosion of trust. Users no longer believe the game is fair. 4. Loss of diversity in supply. Homogenization as platform-owned products crowd out independent creators. Section 8. Counterarguments and nuances. 1. Consumer benefit, cheaper prices, faster delivery, consistent quality. 2. Efficiency gains. Vertical integration reduces friction. 3. Market reality. Maybe platforms are simply playing the game the market rewards. These arguments do not negate the pattern. They illuminate it. Section 9. Why this pattern is accelerating. AI collapses the cost of production. Platforms can generate infinite supply in music, writing, images, and product designs. Algorithms dominate discovery. The platform decides who wins before the user even sees the options. Winner-take-all dynamics. Digital marketplaces gravitate toward monopoly-like control. Marketplace cannibalism is no longer a slow creep, it is an industrial strategy. Section 10. Possible solutions or reforms. 1. Structural separation. Referee must be separate from the player, similar to the role of structural rules like Glass-Steagall. 2. Transparency requirements. Algorithms, search ranking, and order flow rules made public. 3. Protocol-based marketplaces. Open, auditable, non-cannibalizable systems built on blockchain or open-source rails. 4. User-owned discovery layers. Search and ranking controlled by neutral networks rather than platforms. The real alternative to platform cannibalism is infrastructural neutrality. By design, not promise. Section 11. Conclusion. Marketplace cannibalism is not an anomaly. It is the natural conclusion of platform incentives. A marketplace that controls data, distribution, and rules will inevitably evolve from neutral facilitator to active predator. Understanding this life cycle is the first step toward building ecosystems, policies, and technologies that preserve fairness, innovation, and trust. Neutrality is not the default. Neutrality is an achievement, and without structural safeguards, it never lasts.